Okay, you can start, Heidi.
All right, well, welcome to tonight's river cruising event. One thing I just wanted to mention is if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat room. We do want to make sure we get all your questions answered. I wanted to thank Columba for joining us tonight. She's from Ama Waterways, and she's going to be telling us all about river cruising. So I will turn it over to you, Columba.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Heidi. Thanks for joining us this evening, everyone. Just to tell you a little bit about Ama in general, because maybe you've never heard of us as a company. We are a small family-run business that's based in Calabasas, California. And, we just like to tell you a little bit about our history. We don't do a lot of direct mail. We don't do a lot of advertising. We rely on our past guests that come back from a fabulous experience and tell their friends and family. And we rely on travel professionals like Heidi, who has sailed with us and knows the difference between the different lines that are out there. Because just like with big ship cruising, there are differences. Some people choose Carnival, some choose Royal Caribbean, some choose Celebrity. Well, same thing is true of river cruises. So we're a small family-run business, and in this photo, you see Rudy Schreiner on the left, his wife, Christine Karst, and on the end is Gary Murphy, whose dad was the original partner in the business when it was founded in 2002. So we're just about to celebrate our 19th anniversary. And when I say that we're a small family-run business, I don't want that to scare you in any way. We're a very sound business. We'll be around for a long time. And, we just love what we do. And like I said, we don't spend money frivolously. They're all European descendant, and they're very, very frugal with what they do with their money and how they spend it. We're not looking to take over the world. We don't have hundreds of ships. We have 25 ships in our fleet. That's it. We are growing. Every 2 years we come out, every year I should say, we come out with 1 or 2 ships. Of course, last year, everything was on a standstill. We've all gone through this pandemic together, and we're all just itching to get out of here, to get away. And we're proud to say that July 3rd is going to be our very first cruise to Europe, and Portugal will be our first destination. It seems that it's much easier to do these cruises when they're going through one country at a time. So Portugal will be our first cruise July 3rd, and then middle of July, July 22nd, we'll be going to France as well. So we're happy to reconnect, rejoice, return to Europe after a 15-month absence. We've all been employed here. We've been working hard to stay connected with our agents. Most of our bookings, of course, that were canceled in 2020. Some of them were canceled in 2021. They've all moved forward pretty much because this is a trip that most people don't take very lightly. They've planned for it. They've really looked forward to it, and most of them did move forward to 2022 or 2023. So if you're not already booked to go in 21 with Heidi and her group to Portugal, and you're looking at 22 or 23, I say move quickly because things are filling very quickly. That's the beauty of a river cruise. We say oceans take you to countries, rivers take you through them. So we go to these small little landlocked countries that the big ships couldn't get you to. With our average capacity of only 156 guests, it's going to be very tight to get space for 22 and 23. The other nice thing about Ama is that we only require a $400 per person deposit to hold your reservation. So again, if you're not booked for 2021 and traveling with Heidi and her group to Portugal, well, I don't think Heidi is going, but her group to Portugal, if you're not booked already, if you're looking at something in 22 or 23, a $400 deposit will hold your reservation. Your final payment won't be due until 90 days prior to departure. So it's just nice to have something on the calendar, something to look forward to, and to get through this pandemic. As you can see, this beautiful shot here, this is what our rivers look like. You're traveling on a ship with an average of 156 guests. We're very close to land. You're not in the middle of the ocean. So we are following the safety protocols of the countries that we're visiting. And if, God forbid, something did happen, because we're so close to land, we can get you to an airport, we can get you to a hospital. It's not like the issues that the big ships were having last year, where they were out at sea and no country would take them in, if you remember. So we are traveling within the countries, so that really makes for a nicer experience. We're also finding that this pandemic is creating a lot of trends like people wanting to be on a smaller, more intimate vessel and not be on a great big ship in the middle of nowhere. Trends like maybe people will take less vacations, but they want to take longer vacations. So our beautiful itineraries lend themselves to that. We have pre-land extensions in all cases, and we also offer in some cases post-land extensions. So if you're going to go to a destination, spend as much time as possible there. We make it easy for you. So when we look at the map and all the great places that we go, this presentation tonight will be geared mostly towards the Portugal itinerary that Heidi is promoting. But remember, there are lots of other destinations we go to. Again, if you're not going this year and you want to look at 22 or 23. We do all these landlocked countries from the North Sea to the Black Sea, mostly 7-night cruises, but some 14 nights. And as I mentioned previously, always pre-land extension. What's nice about the pre-land extension, it gets you there a little earlier, gets you acclimated to the time change, to the destination itself. And the nice thing about how Ama Waterways operates their pre and post land extensions is that the cruise manager is there with you every step of the way. So say, for example, you were going to take this pre-cruise extension on the Portugal cruise. We're doing a pre-stay in Lisbon. The cruise manager will be there at the hotel to meet and greet you. There'll be a cocktail party that evening. They'll give you tips, advice. There will be sightseeing on the land portion as well, but they're there to act as a concierge to make sure that everything goes smoothly, that if, God forbid, you got off the plane in Lisbon and your luggage was lost, you would file your report at the airport, but they would be the one to follow up and make sure that that suitcase gets to you. They'll give you tips and advice, where to go, where to stay away from, that kind of thing. And then you'll do the 7-night cruise. And if there's a post extension, as there is with this trip to Portugal, the cruise manager will continue with you. So it really makes it a nice, pretty gift wrap package, all put together for you concisely and just very well orchestrated to make it the best vacation for you. So we do all the major rivers in Europe, the Danube, the Rhine, the Rhone, the Seine, the Bordeaux region of France. We've got our 2 ships that do the Duoro River in Portugal with 2 different itineraries, one that does a round trip and one that goes one way, which we're going to talk about. We even have some exotic destinations. So if you have any interest, maybe you're all Europed out, and you're interested in doing Vietnam and Cambodia, we have a small ship there, 122 guests. We have a tiny ship in Africa with only 14 staterooms, 28 guests. And we have brand new for 2021 on the Nile River, a brand new ship that will be introduced in September of this year. So if you have any interest in those destinations, just let Heidi know. We can definitely do one of these presentations just specifically on those itineraries as well. But getting back to now our main product and what we're offering. As I mentioned, the restrictions in many of the countries in Europe have been lifted, Portugal being one of the first, France was second, and I think yesterday, Germany. So things are getting easier for us to travel to Europe. So we have been traveling all of last year, well, May through November. We were the only US-based company that had a ship that was actually sailing the European rivers. We were sailing the Rhine, 5-night cruises up and down the Rhine River with German-speaking guests. And we operated all those months, May through November, with all the protocols in place. And we did not have one COVID case on board the ship. So we're very proud to say that, because all the other companies are talking about the protocols, but we actually implemented them, and we implemented them successfully, and things went very smoothly. So while the staff is required to wear a mask at all times, the guests will only wear one, when they're traveling from their stateroom to the lounge, stateroom to the dining room. When they're there, they can remove it. We'll be doing temperature checks daily. Our ships operate with a clean air filtration system. So we're bringing air from the outside in. It's not recirculated air throughout. Social distancing is easy on our ships. Our average ship carries 156 guests. The ship in Portugal only carries 102. And just so you know, we will not be operating at full capacity, so that again, we can maintain social distance on board the ship. On our excursions, same thing. Normally, our excursions, we take 20 guests at a time. We will be taking smaller number of guests off the ship for excursions, but all the excursions will operate as planned. And of course, the luggage will be sanitized before it's brought on board. So we're very happy with how things went last year, and we're happy to welcome you all aboard this year. We've got lots of reasons to celebrate, lots of missed opportunities in 2020, family reunions, girlfriend getaways, holiday gatherings that were missed, milestone birthdays and anniversaries that were all missed. Just lots more to celebrate and to get together for. So we look forward again to welcome you aboard one of our ships. So if you've never been on a river cruise, what makes river cruising so special? Well, not only is it the size of the ship, but mostly it's the inclusiveness. So if you've never done a river cruise before and you've only been on the big ships, we all know what the big ships are like, right? They get you on board with a great price, but you can walk off the ship with a bill that's almost as much as the cost to get on the ship. All those extra things that add up. Well, the nice thing about a river cruise is that you're paying for pretty much everything up front. Okay, so you're not going to get hit with a big bill when you get off the ship. It's easier for me to tell you what's not included. So we do not include gratuities because we feel that that should be at the discretion of the guest. We'll give you guidelines. We don't include all alcohol all day. We do have wonderful wines that we include with lunch and dinner, as well as beer and soda with lunch and dinner. And every night before dinner, we include a 1-hour complimentary cocktail party. So what we don't include would be like the gift shop, spa treatment, what else? That's pretty much it. Everything else is taken care of. So you're not going to walk off the ship with a big bill. So the price may seem it's a little expensive, but when you package it all together, you'll realize that, okay, it's pretty much done. The other nice thing about Ama, again, the small ship environment with less guests, there's no such thing as an inside stateroom. So every stateroom has at least a window. When you look at the day-by-day itinerary, the excursions that you see listed in our day-by-day itinerary are all included. Do you have time to do them all? Absolutely not, but it's about having the choices. And that's where we set ourselves apart from our other river cruise competitors. They usually offer just a city tour with everything else you would pay additional for. That's not the case with Ama. And also what you'll notice is we do the excursions at different paces. So we have gentle walker, regular, and active. We also have excursions that are off the beaten path. So if you think river cruising is just about seeing churches, town square, and city hall, think again, because we offer bike tours, hiking tours. I should say no bike tours in Portugal though, because when you're sailing, I'm going to show you pictures of the gorgeous areas you're going to be sailing through. You're sailing mostly in a valley and everything is up in the mountaintops or the mountain sides. So biking, we do not do any biking in Portugal. But if you're looking at the Danube, the Rhine, France, any of those itineraries, we offer bike tours pretty much every single day. So you'll never get seasick on a river cruise because it's as smooth as can be. You get wonderful fine dining. So besides being docked in the heart of the city in most cases, the food is my second favorite thing because you're really getting the flavors of the destination. You're getting to taste what they're serving ashore, but you're getting it included on board the ship. And of course, smart casual attire. No jackets required for the gentlemen. This one happens to be wearing one in this picture because it's the captain's welcome aboard. But as long as the gentlemen are wearing a button-down shirt for dinner, they're fine. It's really a casual experience on board. You're not being followed around by photographers, you know, so you can relax and just enjoy the beautiful scenery you'll be taking in. We like to call our days when we're sailing sea days, S-E-E, instead of S-E-A, because you'll be sailing and taking in everything that you see on the left side of the ship, the right side of the ship, the starboard, and the, what's the other side called? The starboard and the, oh my God, just port, thank you, it just escaped me. So you'll be taking in all of that beautiful scenery. You're a good cruiser there, Heidi. So Heidi does space blocked on the Flavors of Portugal and Spain, which is departing September 28th aboard the beautiful Ama Vida. As I mentioned, that ship only holds 102 guests and we will be traveling with less than 102. And this is just some of the gorgeous scenery that you'll be seeing. So as I mentioned earlier, you're sailing most times in the valley. So way down and all of the ports are higher up. So if you've been on a river cruise with us before on the Danube or the Rhine, in most cases in those itineraries, you can pretty much walk off the ship and walk into town. On the Duoro River, the only place you could really do that is the town of Porto. Everything else will require motor coaching. So we provide all of the transportation for you, the sightseeing, the guides, your AudioVox headset. So when you're touring, you'll put your little earpiece in and you will continue along with the guide. So just gorgeous shots of the scenery along the way. Look at that beautiful shot. Lots of vineyards you're going to pass because, of course, known for their port wines in Portugal. This is the actual map. Now, again, there's a pre-package that will do 3 nights in Lisbon before you head to the ship, and you board the ship in Porto, and you'll sail here to Vega Terón, and then you can continue on to Madrid. The cruise is one price, of course. The pre and post land extensions are optional, but we always recommend them. And as you can see, all the ports along the way, all of the different places that you will be visiting while you're on the cruise with your cruise manager and the local guides as well. So the pre-cruise land extension will start in Lisbon, one of Europe's most beautiful cities. Lisbon stretches across several hills along the Tagus River. On your escorted tour, you'll see Belém Tower, a fortified 4-story structure made of limestone, and visit the late Gothic Geronimo's Monastery. So lots to see in the beautiful city of Lisbon. The City of 7 Hills tour will also be offered. The Royal Cintra excursion. So this will be an excursion that takes you to the beautiful area of Cintra, one of the most picturesque mountain villages in Portugal. It's the former summer residence of the Portuguese royal family. So you'll spend quite a bit of time here and just, take it all in. It's a beautiful time of year in September to be visiting this part of the world, of course, in Europe. The weather is similar to here, but probably a little bit warmer than here, I would think. The guided tour includes the visit to the Pena National Palace, a fairy tale castle situated high on the rocky peak, followed by free time to explore on your own. So that's another nice thing about our excursions. You get a guided tour as part of it that starts you off. Then the guide will give you free time to wander, to shop, to grab a little bite of a local delicacy. They'll tell you where they're going to be meeting to get the transfers back to the ship. So you'll have a mix of escorted time as well as free time in the ports of call. Beautiful Porto, the city of bridges, so gorgeous at sunrise or sunset. I'm not sure which this is, but either way, it looks beautiful. All the beautiful red tiled roofs that you see. And so after your stop in Lisbon, in Cintra, then you'll proceed to Porto. It's a motor coach transfer that will take you to Porto, Portugal. Just a beautiful fishing village. So here, as I mentioned earlier, you'll have the opportunity to walk around Porto, just walk off the ship and you can explore. But of course, there will be sightseeing as well. So embarkation, you'll check out of your hotel in Lisbon. You'll motor coach through the Portuguese countryside with stops in Tomar and visit the castle of the Knights of Templar. If any of you are fans of Dan Brown and his book, The Knights of Templar, you've heard about those. The walls of which envelop the elaborate Convent of Christ, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So there's lots of beautiful scenery along the way. And then once you reach Porto, you'll board the ship. The next day, you'll have a guided tour of Porto's historic quarter, also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You'll see the cathedral, the beautiful architecture, the beautiful blue and white tile that really depicts many of the architecture, a lot of the buildings in Porto and throughout Portugal. They're known for this beautiful blue and white. Of course, there'll be wine tastings along the way. Porto is known again for its port wines. And then you have your Entre Rios, which is the cross between 2 rivers in Portugal. So lots to see. Have your cameras ready. Just beautiful, beautiful sightseeing. Regua in Portugal is a beautiful little village as well. So you'll tour the 18th century Palacio Anadia, or Palace of the Counts, known for its beautiful interior and Baroque style inside the house as well as out. Look at this beautiful holy staircase. You can hike or just take the tour below. It's over 600 steps to get up to the top. So pretty amazing architecture that you can explore here. And again, there's the blue and white tile, which Portugal is so famous for, which I'm sure you can shop for. I know some people that have done this. They get the tiled numbers for their houses or their names for their mailboxes. So lots of wonderful shopping opportunities. And of course, the Lamego with bolas tasting. Now the bolas is a kind of like a donut with cream, but sometimes they put a little dried ham in it, like prosciutto. So they make these great little sandwiches. There'll be a tasting when you're there as well to really explore. And you could see the beautiful vineyards again, the valleys as you're sailing through Pinau, very picturesque, very lush. When you're sailing in September, some of that green may be more golden colored, but just take a look at the gorgeous seascapes you'll take in while you're sailing. The train station is very renowned there as well, for the blue and white tiles. You'll have wonderful lunch in one of the towns here in Quinta de Avesada. So we take you ashore. There's a family that serves a wonderful lunch, including wine, of course. They also play musical instruments, get you involved, get you to feel the destination. And that's really what river cruising is all about. It's to make you feel like you're part of the destination. You know, it's not like a big ship unloading 5,000 guests into a port. We're unloading only 102. Well, in your case, this year, less than that. And you really get to feel the flavor of the destination. You get to know the locals. You get to see how they live, where they live, how they shop. And it's a totally different experience than being on a big ship. So this wonderful lunch will take place. And then that's where you'll be sitting somewhere in the vineyards like this, looking down at the beautiful river from up above. And then, of course, we'll stop at Barca de Alva Castelo Rodrigo, which is on the way then to Vega de Terron. Vega de Terron will be the last stop of the cruise where you'll be disembarking. And let's just go over this. Hold 1 second. Let me just read my notes on this, because this is one itinerary I have not had the opportunity to do yet. But the Castelo Rodrigo, known as the White Village because of its almond trees. So the site offers spectacular views of the surrounding area as far away as Spain. Join a walking tour through the medieval streets and see the houses and establishments with 16th century facades. And that's it. I'm sorry. Prefer a more active adventure? You can hike to the town. At the end of the tours, enjoy a tasting of local favorites such as almonds, cheeses, and of course, wine. So you'll have a wonderful day visiting this area. And then Vega de Terron is your disembarkation point. So disembark the ship in Vega de Terron and board the motor coach to Madrid. En route, you'll first stop in Salamanca. So while you're in Vega de Terron, you'll get to visit the cathedral here. And then on your way, you will to Madrid. You'll stop in Salamanca. So you'll have some small towns and villages. You'll see the Plaza Mayor in Madrid, all aglow. And then while you're in Madrid, you'll have an excursion that will take you to Toledo. So if you're interested in doing this, journey to the walled city of Toledo, again, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the ancient capital of Spain. The city is a treasure trove of artistic riches and its winding streets and well-preserved medieval architecture. As part of your escorted tour, you will visit the Cathedral of Toledo, as well as the Synagogue Santa Maria la Blanca in the Jewish Quarter. So we've got a little bit of everything here. Of course, you know, there are the churches, there are the town square, there are the city halls. You see the gorgeous Plaza de Mayor, but it's all the little towns and villages that in most cases really are the pleasant surprises to most of our guests. We all kind of know what the big towns and cities are like, but it's the little ones that really capture our hearts. I know that's been the case for me on every Danube cruise I've taken, the Rhine cruise, and next month I'll be doing one of the France cruises. Portugal is still on my list, so lucky you that are going to be going. We will then transfer you from Toledo is a day trip. So while you're in Madrid, you'll be disembarking, or I'm sorry, not disembarking, you'll be checking out of your hotel in Madrid and then flying home from Madrid. So the full cruise is 7 nights with the pre and post land. It will be a total of 11 or 12.
13.
Yeah,
13.
13 nights and 14 days, exactly. So I'm not sure, Heidi, are most of your guests doing the pre and post land extension as well?
They're all doing both. Yep.
Wonderful.
Lisbon and Madrid.
right? Like we said, if you're going to do it, you got to do the whole thing, you know, because you don't know when you're going to be back there again. So we'll take any questions that you might have. If anybody typed anything into the box, I don't see anything right now, but you have an opportunity to ask questions if you'd like, and we'll be happy to answer them. Heidi, if you want to talk about pricing and what's still available.
There's actually all kinds of cabins still available, so I can give anyone specific quotes if you'd like, you know, for either the one with just a window or a balcony. Both types of rooms are still available. And again, like she was saying, if you want to go on a different itinerary or a different year, I can get you set up for that as well. I think what Colombo was saying about it's really the small towns. You know, you look at the map and you've never even heard of a lot of those cities. And same thing when I went on the Rhine and the Danube, there were cities that I had never heard of before. But once you start going, there are these beautiful, quaint villages, and you're right, you do get to meet the locals and talk to them, and they have local guides for us. So it's not, you know, it's someone that really knows the area. So it's really, it's just a very easy way to see places because, you know, everything, you know, everything's included. So Ama Waterways is taking care of it. You know, breakfast, you're talking to people about what excursion you want to do that day. And then you go up, you get your little, you know, color to see what, you know, group you're in. And then that's it. You know, there's someone meeting you right there when you get off the ship. And then it's so nice when you can do things like this lunch in town that again, they're paying for, which is nice. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the passengers were great. It was very, you know, mix up, eat with different people, and get to know other people that are on the ship. The crew all seem to know everybody because, again, you know, you're only talking 100 people, so the crew really knew everybody, and that was really nice. You know, they took care of you, so it was a great experience, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you think of them later, just email me, and we'll, you know, we'll reach out and get any answers. So does anybody have any now of things that they'd like to? Colombo's a great resource, you know, while we have her, since she's been on so many. So if you have any questions, now's a good time. Otherwise, you know, we can email me later.
Okay, I do see a question. How long is the motor coach drive from Lisbon to Porto? That's a good question. Hold on. Well, the nice thing is, you know, we take our time, so we usually make stops along the way. So I have this fantastic app that it's called Rome, the number 2 in Rio. So I'm going to look at that, but that's not going to be the answer. It's going to be longer than what I see on my app. So hold on one second. So from Lisbon to Porto, hold on. I'm going to tell you how long that is normally. Okay, Lisbon, Portugal to Porto. Hold on. It says here that the motor coach ride would be 3 hours and 30 minutes. But rest assured, we will take the longer way because we make stops along the way. We give, you know, potty breaks, coffee breaks. So it will be longer than 3 hours, but that's pretty much it. Okay, hold on. From Lisbon to Porto, oh, and to Madrid. Hold on. So getting off the ship now in Vega de Terron to Madrid, right? Is that what we want to know? Okay, hold on. But remember, we're stopping in Salamanca. Vega de Terron.
That one's longer.
Yeah, I'm sure. And
I
like
can
stop in Vega de Terron in Spain to Madrid. Hold on. My app says that the motor coach ride is 6 hours and 56 minutes. So that's a long one. Yes. Okay, so yeah, so Vega de Terron disembarkation, and then hotel checkouts, that's on to Madrid. Okay. Any other questions? And we could get more specific. I'm not sure who's asking that question though. Hold on, could I see that? trying to see who, I can find out at the end who asked the question. We can get more specifics for you on that afterwards.
Yeah, I can get you like the detail of what they do that day. I mean, the one to Porto is probably just direct, but the other one, I know it goes to Salamanca. I think it goes out to lunch too on the way, so I can get you more details on that.
Okay.
Just email me so I know who. Yeah, I don't see any of the questions.
I'll have the questions printed out once we finish the presentation.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I don't think there's any more questions. Again, thank you. If anybody's interested in any other destination, please let us know. We could do another presentation. We could do it even more informally, just a chat with a Zoom so you can talk to us. However you want to do it, I'm up to it, and I'm sure Heidi is as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, and I guess that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. Take care. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.